Okay, stop what you're doing. We legitimately have some breaking news that's either going to make your day or potentially ruin your day, depending on your belief system. Scientists just discovered something massive under the Great Pyramid of Giza. It could change history as we know it legitimately. So, new radar scans using synthetic aperture radar, SAR, have revealed huge hidden structures beneath the pyramid, including new chambers inside and 8 massive cylindrical shafts plunging over 600 meters underground. That's nearly half a mile deep. And they seem to connect to 2 gigantic rectangular chambers stretching 2 kilometers
That's
beneath
crazy.
the Giza Plateau.
Why didn't they think of doing that scan years ago? Would have made sense unless they just came up with the concept or the technology. I don't know.
What could this mean? Is this a lost underground city? Or is it a hidden power source or something even stranger? These findings come after previous scans discovered mysterious voids inside the Great Pyramid, including the famous Big Void, which was a 30-meter hidden space no one expected. But now, with these enormous underground structures, it raises the question, were the pyramids just tombs? Or were they something more? Some researchers have long speculated that the Great Pyramid wasn't just a burial site, but possibly an ancient power plant harnessing Earth's natural energy. These columns have spirals going down, which are making some researchers think it definitely has something to do with a power plant. The
Now, if they're using this for some type of power or energy source, what were they using it for? That's the question. Spacecrafts? Maybe the pyramid is a spacecraft? Maybe there's civilization living down there, like the Matrix, and that resource their energy to live? Who knows? Let's continue.
precision engineering, the strange inner chambers, and now these deep unexplored tunnels, it all fuels the mystery. But here's the thing, Egypt's authorities haven't confirmed with any excavations yet. So this is developing, and as this plays out, we will see if this could be rewriting history before our eyes. Let me know what you think. Were the pyramids just tombs? Or were they part of a lost ancient technology, perhaps even a power plant of some sort? Drop a comment below, let me know your opinion, and stay tuned for any more developments on this. I'll be making future videos. Unbelievable.
This is not a city. It is the iron ore cave system below the Giza Plateau, which I have extensively documented with on-site evidence, which just so happens to be directly connected to H2S gas, hydrogen sulfide. So on the Giza Plateau, we not only have an abundant supply of metal ore that contains not only iron, but precious metals like gold and silver, but we also have a natural supply of sulfur-bearing gas, a gas that can be directly converted into sulfuric acid. And for now, I'll leave it with this, as this new synthetic aperture radar technology data does have merit, as I've said before, and it has opened a door for a whole new chapter for understanding the Giza Plateau system, not as the halls of Amenti.
What do you think about the columns that they think they found underneath the pyramids?
If you read the piece, they say it's 2,000 feet deep, right?
Yeah.
It's like, wow.
That's what and they are like 8 vertical columns, each of which has a little like a stair or a ramp. And then they think that there may be channels that connect them underneath.
Are they giant obelisks?
I think it's one of the most amazing discoveries, if it can be proven.
Okay.
It was a sonar. This was right. They figured it out using sonar technology.
Yeah, with sonar, which tells you exactly what the material was, and even the inscriptions, right?
Wow.
Okay, so if they use sonar, and again, they found all these things of technology and energy processing, and this is way back in the early days of technology. So how is it that they have this type of technology back then? And then in the 1920s and 1910s or whatever, You've got people driving horse and buggy. Cars weren't made yet. Other type of transportation was just basically horse and buggy. So how does that make sense? So the technology was much better back in those days compared to what's going on, in the, early 1900s and a little before that or whatever. Horse and buggy, power plants, pyramids, thousands of years ago. Again, another mystery of life. And again, it went down 2,000 feet. That's crazy.
So in case you've been living under a rock the past couple of weeks, this right here is what they just found under the mother effing pyramids. And to me, look, tons of people have been giving their opinions on it. To me, that shit looks like some conductors. And the motherfucking Egyptians were using this shit to either charge their spaceships that were landing on them, or they were like teleporting themselves to other planets. Because in case you also didn't know, the pyramids are aligned with a constellation. I don't know how the hell they did that, but more likely they were way more advanced than we give them credit for. And this shit right here is bigger than any building, skyscraper in the freaking world. How the hell were they digging down through the bedrock, including there's like a water aquifer that goes through there? These people were not human. They were some fucking aliens. I don't know. Tell me in the comments what you think, and follow for more shit like this.
I am struggling to express in words just how significant of a discovery this is. Hundreds of meters beneath the pyramid, there are 8 of these cylindrical wells arranged in 2 parallel rows, descending to an astonishing depth of 648 meters. It's also possible that this spiraling cylindrical series of structures are staircases. And I can't help but think of the channeled writings of Thoth the Atlantean, the Emerald Tablets, speaking of a lost hall of records, a sacred hall of knowledge below the Giza Plateau, the halls of Amenti. Could this be the lost hall of records from the pre-flood era? Even more intriguing, at the base of these structures are 2 massive cubic formations measuring approximately 80 meters in diameter. The recent findings from deploying this technology are nothing short of mind-blowing, because what's been discovered is that there are huge structures coming down from the base of the pyramid deep into the bedrock. In fact, over 600 meters deep, which then connects to structures that extend up to 2 kilometers below the surface of the ground. 2 kilometers. Massive internal structures connected to the base of the pyramid and extending deep, deep down. This is what we know so far. Now,
Yeah, so again, if this is for real, why would they build all this? What was the purpose of them building this? It had to have been for something big,
this discovery is extremely controversial. It runs as a complete contradiction of the established narratives and status quo in mainstream academia on these issues. This will cause big waves throughout the academic and the wider world if they can fully evidence these findings, but the results so far seem pretty clear. There is obviously significant structural engineering taking place deep below the pyramids and the Giza Plateau in general. Has this changed your mind on the pyramids? Has this strengthened your position on what they might have been? Has this new discovery given you any new ideas about what the implications are?
Oh my days. When you think you've seen it all, you ain't seen nothing yet. So all this time, we've only been touching the surface. You thought the pyramids was big. Well, guess what? They're even bigger. Even in the movie Dusk Till Dawn, they tried to show us, but I guess we couldn't see it. The eyes are useless when the mind is blind.
Scientists just discovered something massive beneath the Great Pyramid of Giza. Here's what they found. Using advanced radar scans, they detected something incredible. Inside, they uncovered 5 hidden chambers in a mysterious sloping ceiling. But the biggest surprise was buried deep underground. Beneath the pyramid, researchers found 8 massive columns stretching over a mile down. These columns are wrapped in spiral pathways resembling coils, all leading to 2 enormous cube-shaped chambers, each spanning hundreds of feet. Ancient texts have long spoken of hidden chambers beneath the pyramid, like the legendary halls of Amenti. Now it seems those legends might be true. Some experts believe the Great Pyramid was more than just a tomb. Nikola Tesla suggested pyramids could generate energy, and some researchers speculate it might have functioned as a power plant or even a powerful device. This discovery could change everything we know about ancient civilizations. With further research, we may finally unlock the true purpose of the Great Pyramid. Share this with others. This could rewrite history.
Ladies and gentlemen, we may have just rewritten history. Beneath Egypt's Khafra Pyramid, scientists have uncovered something so massive, so precise, that it defies everything we thought we knew about the ancient world. Radar scans just revealed an underground labyrinth stretching 648 meters below the pyramid. That's deeper than the Eiffel Tower is tall. And at the very bottom, 2 giant cube-shaped structures, each the size of a football field, perfectly aligned, perfectly preserved. But here's the real question. Who built them and why? Some believe this was part of an ancient power grid tapping into Earth's natural energy, a concept even Nikola Tesla talked about. Others think these structures predate the pyramids by thousands of years, possibly built by a lost civilization with knowledge far beyond our own.
I wonder if they had a city and they figured out how to use this type of energy to run things through the city. Like it was just a small guarded city and it was beautiful, and you know, it had lights and other functioning items that needed that type of energy to run. So imagine back then they were so advanced that, you know, they had electricity and blah, 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 and they just needed an energy source, and there they go. Pyramids.
Right now, scientists are racing to uncover more about this underground network. If their findings hold up, we may be standing at the edge of a total rewrite of human history.
So what if I told you that hidden underneath one of the Great Pyramids of Giza were 8 gigantic cylindrical structures that descend approximately 2,000 plus feet deep down into the earth, that connect into 2 colossal squared chambers that measure 260 feet by 260 feet? Well, this is what a team of scientists are now alleging based on their synthetic aperture radar scans of the so-called Khafre Pyramid. Now, the mainstream history narrative tells us that the Great Pyramids were simply just made to be tombs by a massive slave army using chisels, hammers, sleds, and ropes. Does this look more like a tomb to you or an ancient energy plant?
And I'd like to add to that, do you guys really believe it was small little humans that made such big cubic squares of blocks that were massive and weighed tons to build a pyramid to a perfection? Do you really think humans did that? I don't know. If you think so or not, whatever, and you've gotten this far in the video, please leave a comment. Let me know. Let me know what you think, and or how the pyramids were built. I'd like to get other people's perspectives. All right, let's continue.
Now, if this alleged discovery holds up, it will not only be one of the greatest discoveries of our lifetimes, but it will confirm what many of us have been shouting for years, that there is a hidden history that they do not want us to know about. Follow me to stay up to date on this incredible developing story.
Pyramid shit that's just come out?
Oh, this is insane. Through the use of LiDAR, they have discovered that there are enormous structures underneath the Great Pyramid that go kilometers deep into the earth.
600.
And he said colossal sized, and this is going into the earth. So again, is it tiny little human beings creating these colossal things underneath the earth? I don't know.
Is descending down those cylinders, and then there's more stuff below it, and then there's additional structures inside of it.
There are huge structures coming down from the base of the pyramid deep into the bedrock. In fact, over 600 meters deep, which then connects to structures that extend up to 2 kilometers below the surface of the ground. 2 kilometers. Massive internal structures connected to the base of the pyramid and extending deep, deep down.
Massive structures hidden under the pyramids. What have scientists found? March 2025. Scientists used a type of radar to scan below the Khafra pyramid in Giza. What they found is shocking. A 2-kilometer underground complex, stretching under all 3 pyramids. 5 multi-level structures near the base, linked by geometric paths. Below, 8 vertical wells, each...
Do you see what I'm talking about? Like, if this is true, and it looks sort of like this, come on, look how huge these things are. I'm just saying, if this is true, apparently they scanned it, something massive is there, and if it looks anything like this, someone's gonna tell me it was tiny little men of human being race, and they made that. And even if they did, how long did it take for them to make that? Plus the pyramids, plus the Sphinx. Riddle me that.
Spiraling 648 meters down, leading to 2 giant 80-meter cubes. Tombs? Or something more, like an ancient energy grid? Some say it rewrites history. Others claim it is simply a hoax. What do you think? Were the pyramids more than tombs? Like and follow for more mysteries.
I've read every theory on how they built those pyramids. The Great Pyramid of Giza has...
Now, I know obviously this is AI generated, but come on, this to me, if you believe in the giants in biblical times, I'm pretty sure, they might have been this size. And I would rather go with this story of giants or people much, much bigger than small little humans to create a pyramid. Because for them to carry that block was like for us to carry, a cinder block. So there it is. I believe that. Just saying. I don't care. Let's carry on.
2,300,000 stones in it. Some of them they weigh between 2 and 80 tons. Some of them are cut from a quarry that's hundreds of miles away. These things that pyramid is shaped perfectly. Like, if you've up like a 1/4 inch there, a 1/2 inch here, by the time you get to the top, that thing's a mess. But meanwhile, it's not. It's perfect. It's also perfectly aligned to true north, south, east, and west. And they're not really sure how old it is. They think they date it to 2,500 BC, but that's just because of organic particles that they pulled from inside stones. But they also say that they probably could have sealed those stones and resealed those stones over time. You're dealing with like a gigantic mystery of unfathomable proportions.
That's crazy.
Mysterious discovery under the pyramids. They've just made a discovery beneath the Great Pyramid of Giza. Something they were never meant to find. Scientists have discovered massive columns hidden underground. But here's the scary part. These are no ordinary stone columns. They're made of a material that doesn't exist on Earth. Experts analyzed them, expecting granite or limestone, and found something metallic. Could this be definitive proof that the pyramids weren't built by ancient Egyptians?
Now, did they say they scanned it only? And if that's the case, how were they able to find substance that is not, from this world? So have they done more and only can tell us so much? I don't know. Another question.
Legends speak of gods who used floating stones to build the pyramids. But what if they weren't gods? What if these so-called gods were visitors from another world? And the pyramids were never tombs, but something much greater. The newly discovered pillars form a perfect energy grid that aligns exactly with Orion's belt, just like the pyramids above them. What if this isn't a coincidence? What if the pyramids were built as a message to someone or something? Some researchers now believe the underground structure was not meant for humans at all. It could be an ancient power source designed to send energy into the cosmos or even communicate with an unknown force.
The Great Pyramid itself at Giza, in my opinion, is a multifunctional stone computer and a power generator. The way it's set up and laid out, if you look at the structure from beneath, and I've gone down the subterranean shaft, which goes down about 65 meters in one angle, another 30 meters straight down in another angle, it's beneath the bedrock. Now, even beneath that, you see these giant tubes that are dried out. They're aquifer tubes where the channel was there for the water to run from the Nile. When you take moving water under magnetized crystal granite, you create something called physiostatic electricity. Christopher Dunn, who is an engineer, he wrote several books about the Giza power plant. So now those ions flow up into the Grand Gallery. That I believe there used to be resonating rods going up the Grand Gallery. The slots are there, but the rods are missing now. And that probably would step up the power until it gets into the King's Chamber. And then from there, some type of fusion, I believe, would happen. Now, why do I say fusion? Well, there's a box inside the King's Chamber that's a rose granite box, and you can tell it was added at a later date. Now, this rose granite box, a huge chunk of the corner is missing. So, to me, something was energetic within that box, and so I started thinking about it. So I took precise measurements of the box. I checked out measurements that were online and available to me, and it's the same exact dimensions of the Ark of the Covenant.
The first scientist finally made his way down the cylinder shaft all the way to the two chambers at the bottom, and what he discovered in his reporting back is not only going to blow your mind, it's going to change science as we know it forever. They were going to send an AI robot down the cylinder shaft, but a doctor, one of the archaeologists, Dr. Remy Demi, said, nope, send me, because there might be some complexities or sequencers that we have to navigate, and we need a human to be able to do it. And so they packed him plenty of food, they gave him a Camelback and some Prime Energy drinks, and they sent him down. It took him about a week to get down. And he's saying that the stairs, the precision of the stairs, he doesn't know how ancient Egyptians had that technology. And he did say it spiraled down. But when he got down to the bottom chamber, he said one of them was full of a pool of a deep blue color. And there was a bunch of perfectly preserved bodies floating in it. He said you can even see the color of their irises. And there was a strong desire that he had to get in the water himself. He said it was super alluring, but he refused and fought it. But
yeah, I don't know if I'm getting in that water. I don't know what's in that water. Plus, dead bodies are in that water. For how many years? Not a chance.
What happened next is crazy.
So the Giza power plant, I described the Great Pyramids. It reacted to the Earth vibration.
How does it work?
And it was tuned harmonically to the vibrations of the Earth. Through that, they were able to stimulate electron flow in the central granite chamber and produce microwave energy. Proportions tuned harmonically to the vibrations of the Earth.
The pyramids were not built on the surface to honor the dead. They were constructed as anchors, as containment obelisks, to seal something ancient and immensely powerful below the earth. These newly discovered chambers form what ancient texts called the Abyssal Vault. According to a forbidden section of the Book of Thoth, translated only once before vanishing, this vault was built by a pre-human civilization the Egyptians later called the Neteru. Gods not of the sky, but of the deep earth. At the heart of...
No, I never heard of this, the Neterus. I'm going to do some research on that, the Neterus. I've never heard of that. If anyone has and still had made it this far, leave a comment. Let me know what the Neterus are about. Thank you.
Spiral at the lowest point, 2,000 feet down, is a black sarcophagus made from an unknown metal, humming at a frequency just beyond human hearing. Surrounding it are 8 massive crystal pylons, pulsing in alignment with the Orion constellation. Every 26,000 years during the precessional reset, the energy peaks. And here's the kicker. Some believe the being inside was not dead, but in stasis, a creature older than mankind, sealed there during a war between celestial factions, a war that ended with Earth being quarantined. The pyramids were never tombs. They were keys, or worse, a warning. And now, with the scans awakening global interest in frequencies being disturbed by human drilling and radar, the vault may be stirring.
Could these be part of the halls of Amenti? Take a look at this hole here. And inside of here, you see charred rocks. Could some energy blast come through here and then in some way hit this box, this solid granite box, and warp it with some type of exotic energy? And these also represent portals and stargates, and they go all the way around the box. So I personally believe we're standing in the halls of Amenti.
Radar found an ancient city beneath the Pyramid of Giza. New scans confirm what The Simpsons showed us years ago. In an old episode, The Simpsons win a trip to Egypt from a cereal box.
Here we go again with The Simpsons. I tell you, I don't know how they do it, but they just seem to have an episode and then all of a sudden it comes to life.
Contest. During the tour, Bart sneaks off and crashes a golf cart into a locked area near the Pyramid of Khafre. Inside, he finds scientists using strange radar machines. Lisa joins and looks at the screen. It shows deep shafts, over 2,100 feet down, an underground water system, huge square chambers connected by sloped tunnels. Frink appears and says, "This matches the legend of the Hall of Records." Meanwhile, Homer falls through a vent and lands in a dark room with glowing walls and strange symbols. He touches one. It lights up. Lisa finds an old stone sign. It reads, "Do not open until the end of the cycle." Suddenly, government agents show up. They shut it all down and call it a broken irrigation pipe. Back in Springfield, no one believes them, except Comic Book Guy. The episode ends with Maggie stacking her toy blocks into the exact shape of the underground city. The Simpsons knew. We just weren't watching. Follow for more predictions like this.
Pyramids. They're massive, they're mysterious, they've been standing tall for 4,500 years, and according to a new group of scientists, they might be hiding something incredible beneath them. Picture a secret underground city, lost artifacts untouched for centuries, hidden knowledge that could rewrite history, ancient secrets waiting to be uncovered. Basically, it sounds like the plot of every Indiana Jones movie, but before you start packing your bags, there's a catch. This discovery was made by a team of researchers in Italy. They claim their radar scans prove that there's a vast hidden complex below the pyramids, but not everyone believes them. Why is that? Our next report digs into it.
Picture this. You're standing in front of the Pyramid of Khafre. The sun blazing overhead, the sand crunching under your feet. Somewhere beneath you, there's a hidden city, a whole underground world waiting to be uncovered.
That's crazy.
It's the kind of revelation that could rewrite history. Or at the very least, fuel a dozen conspiracy theory YouTube channels. It started with a research team from Italy, Professor Corrado Malanga and his team from the University of Pisa. They're convinced they found something big. Using radar pulses, they claim to have detected a vast underground complex, spiral staircases, mysterious chambers, and even a network of tunnels leading deeper into the earth. His team believes there are 8 distinct vertical cylinder-shaped artifacts that span more than 2,100 feet beneath the pyramids. And get this, they believe it might even contain the legendary Hall of Records, an ancient library rumored to hold the lost knowledge of Egyptian civilization. Basically, it's the holy grail of archaeology.
This is the weird thing about Giza, my friend, is that there are things that have gone underground in Egypt that, for whatever reason, Joe, is just off limits to the public. There's something called the Osiris Shaft, which is located directly under the causeway between the Sphinx and the Second Pyramid. And it goes about 100 feet underground. It's carved out of the limestone bedrock. It's the creepiest place I've ever been in my life. It's disturbing.
Why is it disturbing?
I don't know, Joe. Well, there's human bones in there. I stepped on it. I didn't even know.
What?
Yeah.
That's the shaft right there?
Yes, that's the entrance into it, and then you go straight down from there.
God, look at the line of people.
Yeah, you got to pay $2,000 to
Look
get
at
in
that
there.
litter floating around.
It's everywhere.
Potato chip bag.
$2,000? Oh my goodness.
Really?
So that's the first shaft. So it's 3 different shafts, and you go down, and here's where it gets, this is the crazy part. When you get to the 3rd level, which is completely dark and freaky, there was a side tunnel. Zahi Hawass himself, there was a documentary, it was either 96 or 99, he went down there, and he's standing in front of this tunnel that went sideways, and he says, it's yet to be explored, and I don't know what's down there. And I'm thinking, the hell you don't know what's down there? Like, you never walked down there? But, Joe, they've since sealed it up. It's like cinder blocks. They sealed it up.
What?
Yes. There's
what?
Swear to God.
Why would they seal it up?
That's a really, hey, Joe, I really want to know that the answer to that question.
Interesting. Well, that looks like that's all we have. I want to thank you for joining in and hanging out. And if you didn't hang out for the full video, that's cool. And if you did, I appreciate you. And again, if there was anything in the video that you liked or you had questions or anything, please don't hesitate. Leave a comment. And if you liked what you saw, hit that like button. And if you really, really, really like the video or just hanging out, hit that subscribe button. Like I said, we're really trying to build up this. How do I mess up? Am I gonna correct this? Am I gonna re-edit this? No, I'm not. Anyways, enough gabbing and yapping. I just want to grow the community, and and again, I want to start streaming and being able to just do like live reactions rather than pre-do it, set it up, blah blah blah. So that'd be cool. So yeah, that's it. So wherever you live, good day, good afternoon, good evening, good night, and I will see you in the next video. Peace.